the draw, and it's the only match that needs to be concluded of round number 2 before the quarter-final stage. We can see that Momota, the beaten finalist from 2 years ago here at the Indonesian Masters, he's safely through to the quarter-final, and so too is Rasmus Gemke, beating the tall Frenchman Thomas Junior Popov. Right, in the bottom of this top half of the draw, Ng Ka Long, the number 8 seed from Hong Kong, China, is also safely through. So one seed lost from the top half of the draw, and that was Li Zijia, the All England champion, number 7 seed here. Retired halfway through the opening game. Now, we knew he was in trouble because he had to retire from the final in Saarbrücken when he was playing against the man we're about to see, Loh Kean Yew. So, not fully recovered from his back injury, Li Zijia, but we very much hope that he will be better for next week, and indeed for the World Tour finals, which are also staged here, because he is currently number 1 on the race to Bali.
He is, yes. That will be a blow to the men's singles should he not be able to play.
Absolutely. So we all wish him well and a speedy recovery. So this men's singles we're about to see is a repeat of the first round encounter at the recent Saarbrücken event in Germany. And this man in Saarbrücken was the number 1 seed, and he lost out to Loh Kean Yew in 2 straight games in Germany. So he will be looking for revenge. But I have to say that I have been getting more and more impressed with this young man, Loh Kean Yew from Singapore. He wasn't Singaporean born and bred, born in Malaysia. But I think he's been getting better and better. I think he really thrived in his 6 weeks, or was he 7 weeks in Europe?
Yeah, and not only that, also when he did some training with Axelson, I think that helped him quite a lot in Dubai prior to the events.
Yeah, for a month-long training session, and it hasn't escaped many people's notice that all the players who were at the Victor Axelson training camp in Dubai have all been playing extremely well.
They have been playing above themselves.
They have, yes. Yes. And I'll make no further comment. But this young man, he really has been playing superbly, hasn't he? I mean,
yes.
He came to Europe, and while we were at the Sudirman Cup in Vantaa,
yes,
in Finland,
yes.
he was winning the Dutch International Challenge
yes.
event, beating Lakshya Sen, who was another one of the training camp in Dubai.
Correct.
So he must have had 7 weeks in Europe, I think, altogether. But here is the number 4 seed, Chou Tien Chen of Chinese Taipei. He was a semi-finalist here 3 years ago, lost out to the eventual champion Anthony Sinisuka Ginting, who lost in the first round. He was the defending champion, Ginting, here this year, 2-time winner of this event. 4th consecutive appearance here at this tournament, and as you saw, has been as high as number 2 on the world ranking. Beat Thomas Roussel of France in the opening round, 22-20, 21-17. And Chou Tien Chen has enjoyed some recent success. He was in the final of the French 750 event, where he lost out to Suniyama. I think, in all honesty, just ran out of steam in the end. 24-year-old Loh Kean Yew, as I was telling you, born in Malaysia, in Penang, and 175, that's 5'9". And he went up 1 place in the world ranking this week to 30, but as you saw, has been as high as 27 in the world. That was just 1 week at 27. Wang Suwei was his opponent in the opening round, and as you can see, needed 3 games to beat the other singles player from Chinese Taipei in the men's singles draw. As we look at our court officials, Robertus Tommy Oscariano from Indonesia, our umpire, and Michael Freyerdal from Norway, the service judge. So, as you saw and we've discussed, this will be the fourth meeting between these two players, and Loh Kean Yew holds the advantage, 2-1 on the previous three, and won the last encounter, which, as we've already said, was in Saarbrücken.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to see whether he can win again. I think it's always important when you have so good runs and beating really top players, whether you come to the next tournaments and you're still able to produce the same kind of standard. I think that's one of the most important things for young players coming up as well, that they can produce the same sort of level.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right,
please welcome the technical officials.
Loh Kean Yew, Singapore. And on my left, Chou Tien Chen, Chinese Taipei. Loh Kean Yew to serve. Love all. Play.
So the winner of the High-Low Open in Saarbrücken, Loh Kean Yew, nearest to us. There he is.
1 love.
Unseeded here, up against the number 4 seed,
The
Chou
umpire
Tien
of the
Chen
match,
of Chinese Taipei.
Indonesia. And the service judge, Muhammad Hatta, Indonesia.
Service over.
Because we're all staying at the
Now,
same
please
hotel as all the players in our big bubble, our COVID-safe bubble. I was talking to Chou Tien Chen earlier, and his physio, Victoria Cow.
Okay.
And I was saying, how are you? Because you look very tired in the final of the French Open. And then, of course, for him wasn't the best result, losing to his opponent of today in the first round in Germany. And Victoria Cow surprised me. She said, he's all right because I'm treating him the whole time, but I need to go into training because this schedule is too tough on me. It was great fun.
Yeah.
All tongue-in-cheek, all said with good humour.
Yes, it's always good to have a good sense of humour.
Service over. 2-0.
So it's very interesting to see that Loh Kean Yew, to me, has always so far been a player who's playing really well against opponents higher ranked than himself as an underdog, but he's been struggling a bit, I would say, when it comes to beating players that you would expect him to beat. So it all depends on how he's perceiving himself and the way where he is at the moment. And due to the results lately, is he now starting to put more pressure on himself and expecting a little bit more of his results because he's done so well? And it will be interesting to see how that psychology is working.
Absolutely. Or does he gain confidence from being asked to train with Victor Axelsen in Dubai and part of the training camp, coupled with those results you were talking about?
It can go either way. It's just interesting to see.
It will be, yeah.
Just interesting. Yeah, clever. Good play by Chou, choosing to finish the rally down the line again and not going cross court to open up the court. Do you think slow conditions suit Chou Tien Chen? Because he loves to rally. The number of times we keep saying, it's almost at times he has an opportunity, but he chooses not to finish it off because it's almost. He wants to play 3.
He wants to play 3 games. He loves being on court. He loves hitting shuttles.
Yeah,
or not, because at the end of the day, he relies on his attacking play to actually win the
Oh,
rallies.
that's a beauty. Really, really well played by Loh Kean Yew.
Service
Yes,
over.
I think
4,
that
6.
on paper this should suit Chou Tien Chen. But having seen, you know, the previous tournaments we've had over the last 6-7 weeks, and the fact that
Service
Chou Tien
over.
Chen is actually getting
7,
tired
4.
and losing matches due to that, I'm a little bit hesitant to say I think he's the favourite under these conditions. If you had asked me 2 months ago, I would have said definite yes.
Yeah. Oh, look at that net shot.
It's a good lift.
So's that.
Chou Tien Chen shouldn't have got away with that one. I think that block shot from the back line was really, really slow. This one that's coming here, look at that. I think Loh Kean Yew could have attacked it a little bit more.
Could and should.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, it's been a huge amount of badminton that the #1 singles players from each nation have had over the last 7-8 weeks. When Chou Tien Chen's led his country in the Sudirman Cup and in the Thomas Cup campaign.
Yeah, just like Kento Momota, he was also
Yeah.
soldering quite a lot. I think playing most of the matches. So heavily relying on his services.
10, 4.
Oh, yes. So to the
11,
mid-game interval
4,
with a 7-point advantage, Chou Tien Chen.
It's a great cover on that backhand defence.
Code 1, 20 seconds. Code 1, 20 seconds.
Well, true to her word, Victoria Cow had a little run back to her.
Both forth and back.
Yes.
We didn't see it on TV, but we saw it here live in the stadium.
11, 4. Play.
So far, a very, very good start for Chou.
Twelve, 4.
Oh, yes. Well, he got fooled earlier on with a cross-court net
30.
shot. It was been from the Singaporeans' forehand side previously.
Yes.
There, the back one. Backhand cross-court. Wasn't going to deceive the #4 seed. It's gone long.
Well, I think it's interesting when you
Service
look
over.
at this opening game,
5,
5-13 down, Loh
30.
Kean Yew. In my opinion, badminton is all about constant evaluation. things going. Am I doing good? Am I not? What is working? What is not working? And so on. And I don't think that Loh Kean Yew is any wiser now than when it was love or play. He's not been testing certain areas. He's not been testing whether he can win at the net or he can't win at the net. He's not been testing whether he can win from the back of the court or not. He's none wiser at the moment, and he's 14-5 down, and I think that is concerning.
Yeah, lost 7 straight points, didn't he?
Doesn't know where he's going to get his point. He doesn't know how to stop his opponent. As I say, he's not any wiser right now, and that's wide.
That's a service error.
Service over. 6-14.
So I usually say as soon as the gap is like 2 points, you have to evaluate what is going well and what's not going well. How can I change it? Because if the gap gets to 3 or 4, perhaps that's enough for you not to be able to win the game.
Mm.
So you have to have that constant evaluation going on all the time.
Missed it.
Wide, yeah, that's wide.
7-14.
Oh my goodness.
Poor smash. Kean Yew, he was lucky on that one, but he had a great opportunity to put it away. But no angle, no sharpness in the first attempt. Got to make those situations count.
Oh, that's a challenge. Yes, he is challenging.
Challenges.
I thought that might have caught the line.
Wipe the court, please. Wipe the court.
Here we go. What does the instant review say? Oh no, I'd say it was way out. I'm surprised at that.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over. 15-8. Thank you. Play.
That's going wide.
Yeah.
16.
So going back to your point, you said if you've got to re-evaluate if you've lost a couple of points, because if you go 4 or 5 points down, well, he's 8 points down now.
Yes, and now 9.
So now you've got to say to yourself, well, do I
17,
basically give up on this game and focus for the next game?
Or will I try to learn something from it?
Yeah.
And when we're talking about 12 minutes of game being 8-17 down, I would definitely try to learn something from it and not give it away.
Mm.
That's for sure.
Yeah, good smash.
Service over. 9-17.
If you can't last where the opening game is around, let's say, 20 minutes, you know, just forget it.
Yeah.
And there's no point being here, in all honesty.
No.
Maybe a little bit rough to say that, but that's the way I feel it.
Yeah, it was close. Call the fault.
17.
Now, let's have another look
Let's
at
have
that.
a look.
Ooh, I didn't think there was anything wrong with that.
Me neither. Me neither. But the gap is so great anyway, I don't think it makes any difference.
We are talking about Chou Tien Chen, though.
Yeah, unless he falls asleep.
Yeah, well left.
Service over. 18-10.
Yeah, clearly long.
Yeah.
19-10.
Chou won the toss, and I think he chose ends, but I'm not entirely sure. It's very, very hard for us to see it.
Game point opportunities.
20. Game point. 10.
That's why it's opening game. 21-10 to the number 4 seed
First
Chou
game
Tien
won by
Chen
Chou Tien Chen,
of Chinese
21-10.
Taipei. The block landing wide of the singles court. And just about 14 minutes for that opening game.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
So will he have any answers in this second game, Loh Kean Yew? Have you been able to work out which you think is the better end to play from? In singles, I'm talking about.
Yeah, not so far.
No.
Not so far. It looks very, very similar to me.
Hold. 1, love.
He was there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Loh Kean Yew is definitely upping the pace, but I think Chou is responding really well. And then when he's got the chance, he's moving in. And I think that's definitely something that's going to work on the mind of Loh Kean Yew, that he's really trying to win the points. He's going as fast as he can, can't get through the defense, and as soon as Chou is having the chance, he's putting it away. So psychologically, that can be quite some damaging.
3, 2.
Another indication of upping the pace that you've been talking about.
Yeah, he's definitely starting a lot quicker here in the opening of the second game. And I think Chou, if I was him, I would be very aware now that it's not letting his opponent getting a gap, but you know, go on the attack, counter-attacking the situation by going on the attack himself, and not to let Loh Kean Yew control it, and then close the gap, make it even, make sure that it's only either level or just 1 point behind.
4, 3.
And then in that way keep adding on the pressure on his opponent. Oh, that's nice.
That was a beauty, wasn't it?
Yeah. You know, we've so often been complaining, inverted commas, about Chou Tien Chen and the fact that he's taking all his shots so low. But look at that one. He's up there, stretching his arm, getting it so early. That's very unusual.
And very nice. And had the desired effect. That was a bit of a loose
That's
serve.
it. Yeah.
That's a vicious neck cord, isn't it?
6,
Yeah.
3.
I think this time again, going back to what I said earlier, I think Chou has responded well to his 3-2 down. I know he's won the last 4 points. It sounds easy, but I think he again was aware of the situation and went in counter-attacking it straight away, rather than let it slip a little bit and then see whether he could come back. He reacted straight away, which I think is very, very important.
5 straight points now.
Service over. 4, 7.
That's right.
Yeah.
5, 7.
Hesitation.
Service over.
Hesitation from Loh Kean Yew.
Yes, I think he was contemplating to leave it on the back line, just for a fraction of a second. And that shot, that reverse slice, he's made a few mistakes on as well.
9, 5.
And if I was Chou, I would really, really focus now. Try to see whether you can create that decisive gap and finish the match. It's just 22 minutes of play so far. This match could be over in half an hour. And he can save precious, precious energy, and that's a silly shot from Chou. But he got away with it.
Yeah.
10, 5.
So you should have gone back down straight.
Straight down the line. The only one to cover is the cross.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that was not the best of choices, but he got away with it. But you can imagine now, let's say if he gets the next one, 11-5, get to the mid-game interval, get the break, focus, go really hard on the first 2 or 3, game over.
Yeah. also sounds so simple when you say it like that.
Five.
But this is a
Yes.
complicated game.
It is, but he's got the tools
Yes.
to do it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I do agree.
That's a lovely lift.
Oh, it's just long.
Service over.
Couldn't have been
6.
long by much.
No, but you asked me before whether I think there's a difference in ends, and I actually think that Chou is standing on the so-called fast end.
Service over. 11-6.
Shot seems
in
to
default.
go a little bit longer on the back line of Loh Kean Yew, but it's very minimal. This is a good smash, perfect smash to the body forehand side from Chou.
So it's a 5-point advantage for Chou Tien Chen, who already won the first. And this man is in a spot of trouble.
Code 1, 20 seconds. Code 1, 20 seconds. Eleven, 6. Play.
That one was out.
Nice challenge here.
Chou Tien Chen challenges. Call out.
Well, if this is out, then I absolutely concur with you that it's flying faster going towards that far end.
Yes.
Because I didn't think he hit that particularly hard. I think you're right about the drifter.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over.
And it was a very, very
7,
important point for
11.
Loh Kean Yew.
Play.
7-11 or 12-6 down.
Oh,
That's good. I've been waiting for that for a long, long, long time.
Service over.
Because so often Chou
12,
is choosing to go
7.
reverse from that situation. And I've been waiting for that one down the line, and this is a beauty.
Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it? Ordinary slice rather than the reverse slice.
Once again, the reverse.
Yeah.
Service over. 8, 12. Yes. Change.
That's a lovely one. Well, was it 2 rallies ago we saw the
Service
ordinary
over.
slice straight down the line
Yes.
from that
30.
position? Now
Exactly.
we've seen the cross court with the reverse slice.
And look how well it's working, because he's not going for pace at all.
Yeah.
It's just landing at the service line, front of the court.
Service over. 9, 13.
And can you really have to start finding a few answers now?
So he's still within touching distance.
He is, and you're so right. You say, please remember it's Chou that's playing.
Service over.
You never know what's happening.
14, 9.
Going on one of his famous walkabouts.
I like his
Service
movement
over.
to get behind that shot,
10.
Loh
Yeah.
Kean Yew.
Lots of
Okay.
effort.
Yep.
He's a fast player, and in faster playing conditions, I think he's a very dangerous player to play, because that pace comes more and more into play. And we saw it in Denmark Open. You remember the first few days, the shuttles, everything was really fast, and they played the opening match, or either it was the first or second round, when the shuttles were still very fast. And Victor Axelsen was actually in a lot of trouble in that match.
Thank you.
I think he won in 2 straight games, but it was pretty close.
19 and 14.
Yeah. So it was the first, the opening game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play.
Oh, goodness, that's a shocking backhand.
16, 10.
We're just passing the half-an-hour mark, and as I say, if Chou is really concentrating, focusing, this could be within 35 minutes.
Yeah.
He's got the tools to do it.
Yeah, I like that punch clear too.
17, 10.
What's interesting is that I understand after his loss in Saarbrücken, Chou Tien Chen didn't go back to his home,
No.
stayed in Europe to travel along with everybody else, all of us,
Yes.
who arrived at the same time here. So he didn't have a chance to get over his jet lag.
Service over.
Stayed in European zone,
11,
even though he'd lost
17.
Yeah,
in the first round.
but I think, you know, it can be quite tricky to go back to Chinese Taipei and then again travel. So I think he just opted to stay on tour.
Yeah.
It was easier for the two of us
Yeah.
to go back, in all
Of course.
honesty. Yeah.
Of course.
Service over. 18, 11.
Yeah, you were just a little train ride away, weren't you?
Yes.
That wasn't quite true from Paris. You did have to take a flight.
Yes, but still,
Center.
it's very simple. Traveling within Europe, short distances.
Thank you. Thank you. Change.
Well, it's not looking good for this man at the moment, is it?
No, definitely not.
18, 11.
Never really tested Chou, I think. Never really found the answers, never really found the key.
Yeah.
And I actually
19,
think it suits
11.
Chou a lot to finish a fairly difficult match like this in 2 straight games.
Because I know we sort of talk about it in jest that he plays so many 3-game matches. When you accumulate that through
Service
tournament
over.
after tournament after tournament, it takes its
12.
toll.
It does.
19.
And if he can conserve energy by winning this second round match,
And properly realizing how good his attack actually is,
yeah,
and making better use of it. Like that.
yeah, absolutely. Lovely way
Service
to bring
over.
up match point opportunities.
20.
Smash down the line.
Match point. 12.
Oh, once again, out of trouble. That's a lovely shot from Loh Kean Yew, but that's wide.
Game.
21-10, 21-12. And a very dominant performance today by the number 4 seed Chou Tien Chen of Chinese Taipei.
21-10, 21-12.
And the slower playing conditions, I think, not suited to Loh Kean Yew. And therefore struggled today. But all credit to this man, Chou Tien Chen. He should be mighty happy. Yeah. 21-10, 21-12 in a match lasting just shy of 34 minutes. So you're pretty much right with your prediction there, Morten. 35 minutes for the match.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes you can get lucky.
Well played by Chou Tien Chen. Safely through to the quarter-final. So after Chou Tien Chen's victory, we stay with men's singles, and it's former world number one Kidambi Shrikant. He was a beaten finalist